Well, hello, everyone, and good evening. Welcome to our Tuesday evening call where we do an introduction to this very special company, LifeWave. We will share a little bit about the company, the history, the founder, the technology. We'll introduce the star of the show, which is called X39. And then we open things up for our doctor of the evening. And we're blessed to have Dr. Walter Young with us tonight. Then we turn things over to you, where it's your opportunity to share your stories. We love your stories. Raise your hand if you have a story. And if you have a question, please write it in the chat. We'll go first come, first serve. And thank you for remembering to do symptoms only. And how we begin, oh, by the way, I'm your co-host, Robin Blank Muscari, and I get to introduce my partner on all levels and the other co-host for this evening. There he is. Turning it over to Gregory to give a brief overview of the company. And I want to do a special warm welcome for those of you that are guests. This is a great call to just get introduced to who LifeWave is and what we have that is so incredibly special. So over to you, Gregory.
Awesome. Well, good evening, everyone. And this is a fun call. We really enjoy doing it, to just share the good news about LifeWave. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And we'll get this show on the road. And here we are. Welcome to our LifeWave X39 stem cell presentation. And I am Gregory Muscari, Robin's other half. And I finally figured out what I want to be when I get older, younger. And I bet many of you can relate to that. In fact, I've got a question for you before we start the presentation. If anything were possible, what is one thing you'd choose to experience differently in your health? If you could wave a magic wand, what's one thing that you'd like to improve or see differently in your health? And what difference would that make for you and your family and, and just your future? Now, I do want to make a note that our products are not designed or intended to heal, treat, or diagnose any disease. They do, however, help our bodies to get back into a more healthy, regenerative mode. And when that happens, many wonderful things can then begin to happen. So let's talk about the stem cell revolution, because everyone wants to look, feel, perform, and live younger. And stem cells are the key because they're a vital part of our immune system that repairs and regenerates damaged cells in all of our organs, glands, bones, muscles, skin, everywhere. The problem is the older we get, the fewer stem cells we have. And by age 60, only a small percentage remain. And the fewer stem cells we have, the faster we age and the slower we heal. Now, what about stem cell injections? They become very popular, but you know what? They're also very expensive, very painful, risky, controversial, and you know what? No guaranteed results. And Robin might share with you her story, how we got involved in LifeWave, because she was looking into doing stem cell injections when we, by God's grace, found this wonderful technology. So we do have some good news, because you can look, feel, perform, and live younger with this historic breakthrough in stem cell activation. It's a new wearable patch technology. It's affordable, it's safe, it's non-invasive, it's drug-free, and it's a patented form of phototherapy, which uses specific frequencies of light to increase and improve our stem cell activity. Now, this is the brainchild of our visionary founder and CEO, David Schmidt. And David is not only a brilliant scientist and researcher, he's a genius inventor. He's got over 100 patents and patent pendings, and he's just hitting his stride. David's been on the leading edge of phototherapy research and science for over 20 years, and he's already conducted over 90 clinical studies proving the efficacy of LifeWave phototherapy technologies and products. And there are many more clinical studies in the works. We always have clinical studies in the works because all of our products are based on scientifically proven principles that are vetted in laboratory and clinical studies. Now, LifeWave is a 17-year-old advanced technology company. It was founded back in 2004 based on an energy-enhancing technology that David actually developed under a government contract for the Navy SEALs to increase their strength, stamina, and performance without the use of drugs, stimulants, or caffeine. This technology turned out to be so effective. It's now used by world-class athletes around the world in almost every sport. We have corporate headquarters, laboratory, manufacturing diversified between California, Utah, and Ireland. And we have global distribution to over 75 countries from 14 global distribution centers. So LifeWave, the word is getting out, and our patches are now used by pro and amateur athletes around the world in almost every sport. In fact, if you were to go back and look at some of the replays of the recent Olympics, you might see them on some of the Olympians because it's approved by the Olympics committee, because it's non-transdermal. Nothing's actually going into the body except light. So the media has certainly noticed us. And so let's talk briefly, how does this amazing technology work? And it's based on a type of light therapy called photobiomodulation. And LifeWave patented patches contain very specific combinations of organic materials and nanocrystals. And when they're applied or near our body, they're activated by our body heat. They then begin to emit very specific wavelengths of light, which stimulate targeted and beneficial biochemical responses in our body. This is known as photobiomodulation, and it's the basis of our LifeWave phototherapy patches. Now, it's been a well-recognized and proven scientific principle that specific frequencies of light can cause specific changes within our body. For example, when we go out in the sun, a specific frequency of light causes our body to make vitamin D. We're not getting a vitamin D download from the sun. Another frequency of light, UV, causes our body to make melanin, the chemical that gives us a suntan. Well, LifeWave's patented technology is based on the same rock-solid, well-recognized scientific principle. And I'm happy to tell you, for the last 12 years, our focus has been in anti-aging and regenerative science. And as of January 2019, we released to the global market the LifeWave X39 stem cell activation patch, which truly is a historic and affordable breakthrough in stem cell activation. Some are calling it the holy grail of anti-aging and restorative science, because we're actually doing what the multi-billion-dollar companies and big pharma have not been able to do. And that is, X39 actually activates a very specific copper peptide that activates our body's own stem cells. And at the same time, it also alters gene expression towards a younger and more vibrant you. So X39 certainly is a game changer because it's activating stem cells. It's a true scientific breakthrough. And David Schmidt, our founder, inventor, and CEO, says this is my greatest achievement yet, with an emphasis on yet, because he loves being in his laboratory and there's no telling what's coming out next. And yes, we have patents. Yes, we have clinical studies. And yes, we have field results proving that X39 is actually turning back our biological clock, helping people to look, feel, perform, and live younger. And for us baby boomers, this is very, very exciting news. So that being said, Robin, I'm going to turn it back over to you and our special guest doctor tonight.
Well, thank you, Gregory. As always, love that presentation. And for those of you that want to know where it is, you can find it in our downloads on Live Younger Downloads. And for you guests, you have a treat tonight. I get to introduce our special guest, Dr. Walter Young. And Dr. Walt comes to us with a background in allopathic medicine as a nurse dealing with ICU and emergency medicine. And then in 1990, he made a career change. He actually shifted his focus from the allopathic model to Chinese medicine and took a trip to China, which dramatically changed his focus and how to support people in getting healthier and healthier. And he really believes that as a practitioner, people have the responsibility to always be open to look for technologies that actually can support people in enhancing the health and well-being, and at the same time be affordable. Actually, Dr. Walt got involved with LifeWave a long time ago, and then he just rejoined us when X39 came out, and he is a joy to work with. And we're going to actually have you put your contact information, but let me bring you on board here first, Dr. Walt. So welcome, Dr. Walt.
Hey, how's everybody?
Great to see you.
Yeah.
Great to see you. Nice to have you here this evening. So
Same here.
I always like to start off with the same thing because I think it's really valuable for people to hear. As a healthcare practitioner, as someone who has worked in both the Eastern and Western models, what is it about LifeWave that really captured your interest, Dr. Walt?
Well, I think as we're evolving in medicine, the physicians that step out of their box and don't just give pills or just say, well, there's nothing else we can do. You have to be constantly studying and researching, and you're almost like a little scientist yourself. And we have enough background as physicians to understand things. It may disrupt what we've believed in the past can be possible, because how in the heck can this little patch change so much in a person's life? So that's the first thing is really, yep, I got mine on my, how do I get this wrist thing there on the wrist?
There you go.
That's a glutathione, but I have my other one in the back. Yep. So that's the first thing is really trying to look for what's the best, no side effects, best economical for the patient. And this does a whole big bang for its price. And, we wouldn't be in the situation we're in with the opioid epidemic if doctors weren't prescribing drugs. They need to prescribe health and do things for our health. And if you don't have the ability to help somebody out, say, well, I think maybe you should see this Oriental practitioner or this naturopath or somebody else. But you've got to think first of the patient. Remember, we all do this studying, and one of the first things we learn is first do no harm. And you can see what's happening in our society today. But I have some good news. Things are changing. Things are starting to shift. I was at a conference about a month ago, 3-day conference, and the AMA, FDA are starting to look at Oriental medicine and seeing that they actually said, we need your help. So it's shifting and changing.
I love it. And that's so valuable to hear. I love the doctors prescribing health. Isn't that a novel concept? Well,
Very
thank
nice,
you.
isn't it?
It's like, well, yeah, isn't that why we're here, is to get healthier?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
how wonderful. And so you came on board early on because you got what the technology was about. And I love how open you are to always be learning and growing.
yeah.
And stem cells are fascinating. Gregory did a nice little foundation, but if you can
He
take it
did.
the next step
Uh-huh.
and share with people, why are they so important? And why is this a historic breakthrough that we can activate our own younger stem cells?
Right. Well, we should be able to activate things, but we've gotten so far away from just the whole natural living, really. I mean, there's hundreds and hundreds of chemicals that are going through our bodies, and even our babies are born in their stem cells. They have chemicals in their body. So we've got to get away from that and start doing the best that we can, because our creator made it's a paradise, but we've tried to change it to mankind's type of what this is going to be better. And now we're seeing it. You and I, the baby boomers, are now seeing it. It's not as good. So this is a whole big shift, because to be able to activate your stem cells, I like to say to people, the stem cells are almost like taking your body to a garage system, and it's going to get worked on. They're going to recuperate any of those cells that are not doing well. It's going to change their function back. It's going to regenerate things. So you may not get what you want from the X39 initially, but that's why I'm very strict about at least 3 months of being consistent with it. Consistency is big, even in Oriental medicine. You've got to do your herbs. If I tell you to do this and not this, and you don't do it, you're not going to get the results. So it's vital that we activate our stem cells, because they're the repair system, for all the tissues in our body, for all the major organs, even the brain.
I love it. I love it. That's I like going to the auto body shop, huh?
Yeah.
And what you said is so valuable, that 60 to 90 days with X39 consistently for for everybody. And then maybe add some patches, some other patches. But our focus tonight is on X39, and Gregory introduced it. And why is it the star of the show, and how do you get the best benefits? You mentioned one key thing was consistency, but
Right.
please let our audience know what else is important to maximize the benefits of this amazing technology.
Well, besides the consistency, being able to use it for 12 to 14 hours, and you need to hydrate because your body needs hydration for all many functions that we have. The drier you are, the less that your cells are going to be communicating with each other. So consistency, hydration, and we say put it on the back of your neck or 3 inches below your belly button. But in actuality, if you're having pain, like I had a patient yesterday who was very sick, was able to see her in person, but she had a shoulder injury that was 10 years old, and she still had some pain and stiffness. So I took out a patch and I just patched her shirt. I didn't put it on her skin. And then we talked for about another 5-10 minutes. And I said, move your shoulder. And, we all know the whole thing. She did this and this and this. And she said, tell me about this, So off she went with her patches.
Isn't it fun that something so simple can be so powerful and act so quickly?
It is simple, but it is powerful, like you said. The technology, the photobiomodulation that's going on it is intense, but at the same time, it's very simple. It all has to do with light. Light is a big key in many things, from the simple thing of as the sun goes down, your melatonin goes up because the light's not hitting your eyes. It's just light is an amazing thing. The frequencies, I was going to tell you that we're going to be doing something new at the clinic. We do use laser therapy for facial rejuvenation, and I do microneedling, which is a technique for facial rejuvenation. So we've decided now to incorporate the X39 into the whole procedure. And, it's going to take a good maybe 2 to 3 months before, I can report what's happening. But I already know what's happening because I've seen it with people who aren't even getting the microneedling. So, yeah, it's going to be great.
Well, the facial rejuvenation, as we turn back the clock,
Yeah.
our body makes more collagen. And I like
Yep.
to tell people I'm not quite as afraid of my magnifying mirror in my bathroom anymore because
You look great.
there's less fine lines and wrinkles. And, I'm 67 and my next birthday in March will be 68. And it's getting better. And isn't that wonderful?
Yeah, that's wonderful. Yes.
We love it. We love it. We love it. So we want to be consistent, 60 to 90 days. What is the reason that we want to take a break from wearing the patches 12 hours on and 12 hours off?
Well, it's just like your body. Your body can go during the first 12 hours of the light, but then you need to sleep. And we need the same thing for your body, what's going on inside your body. Give it a little bit of a break. That's why we have the patches, a 30-day supply of it, and start it up again in the morning. So it's just part of the whole physiology of the human body. You need to give it a break. And it's almost like if I sit here and tap on the table, it's annoying at first, but after a while, you're going to get used to it. It's the same thing. We don't want your body to just get used to it. We want to stimulate it again. The same way as if you go exercising, you have to exercise. Once you reach a certain level, if you're lifting, let's say you're doing arm curls of 50 pounds, and eventually you're going to go to town. You're going to be able to do it easy. So you have to increase that. So it's something that you need to just give your body a break for a while.
I'm not anywhere near 50 pounds yet. That's a lot. That's a lot. But it does enhance athletic performance too. That's one of the benefits. So
that's it.
How long is it going to take someone to notice something with the patch?
Every single person is different. I see when people come in and they're talking about other illnesses, but they, most people have pains, especially in our age group. And I just put a patch on. That seems to calm them down a little bit. So, okay, this pain thing that I have, I'm not really going to worry about it as much. So they can shift over to this other problem. But at the same time, I'm telling them the stem cells are being activated. So it's going to help me and help you help this other problem. So everybody is different, Robin. But that's why it's important to do the 3 months. They'll see something. They really will see if they're consistent drinking water, that kind of stuff. Now, you know that 2 things that I go for, is pain and insomnia. So we need to make sure that you're resting correctly and find out why you're not resting. You know, do you hate your boss, or do you hate your job, or, you know, those kind of things. So remember, it's this little patch does a whole heck of a lot. You need to give it a chance to do its stuff.
Great. Well, you said so many things, and one of them I just want to highlight is once that patch goes anywhere near your body from 3 to 6 inches, it's working. You may or may not notice it, like Dr. Walt said, but it is working. And Dr. Walt talked about it going to the places that's needed most. So these stem cells, they're really smart. They have this like innate wisdom to go where they're most needed to regenerate those damaged cells. And that's why for some people, like I put it on the top of my spine to have my knee pain go away. And in a week, my knee pain went away. Well, what else was it doing between the beginning and when I felt it? So we do have a health tracker. And if you're new to LifeWave, make sure that the person who invited you gets you a health tracker. So you give yourself a baseline before you start. And then in 24 hours, because the majority of people notice something, it'll give you some ideas of what to notice. So are there any contraindications? Is there anyone who should not be using the patch?
Yeah, anybody that has had an organ transplant, I would be careful with that. Let's leave their immune system alone for right now. But everybody else, I haven't had any problems with. I mean, we haven't done much research on pregnancy, but I wouldn't hesitate if the person had pain for me, as a practitioner. But that's really it. The person that's had any kind of organ transplant.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think they do much research on pregnant women.
No, they're afraid.
And, we have pregnant women that ask all the time. If you ask the company, they'll say no, because if they don't do research, they're going to say no.
No, right.
But, it's a personal choice, and we know that nothing's going in the body. We have some pregnant women that do use the patches, some that don't. It's a personal preference. So anything else before we open up for some questions?
Not really. I think we covered a pretty good base. Let's hear some questions. Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll jump into the chat. And while I'm asking, we want to get your phone number in there too, because a lot of people are having tremendous results with consults with Dr. Walt. And his first consult is 90 minutes to get a baseline of where you're at and an overall, and then wait for the magic. And we got to sneak in that an energy enhancer in a minute here, because we're talking to you, we always have to include it. And I do, before we open up, what you said before about asking people, and I do this all the time now because of you. I ask people, are you in pain? And if you are, on a scale 1 to 10, and how's your sleep?
Right.
Because those 2 things, like you just mentioned, if people are not sleeping, they can't heal. That's the time our body renews itself. And so we want to make sure we're getting good quality sleep. And many times if people are in pain, they can't sleep. So we need to address those things. Okay. Kim is asking, she's got a new customer with questions, a 52-year-old woman who has low cortisol upon waking. I know that one. Should she still use Eon? And which patch is for a teenager with attention and focus issues?
First and foremost, I hope she's using X39. And then I would probably ask her she's using the Eon, but I would like for her to try the energy enhancer to open up her circulation again. That's a big thing. Circulation is big. I mean, you got to think of it as almost a stream. Some of the forest fall into the stream and clog it up. That's what happens in our body with our circulation. You want everything to be flowing without any impedance. And that in itself, you'll see there's going to be some shifts. Eon, if she's using Eon, that means that she's trying to lower some of her inflammatory markers. You know, why is she having all of this inflammation? Definitely X39 and energy enhancer on her. And for the young man with attention deficit, once again, remember, stem cells will activate and help the cells of your brain besides other stuff. And I've heard some people that are younger with the X39 that have these attention issues love when they're using their X39. They see a calming and they see a difference of it. The same thing with him. If you can patch with energy enhancer to open up the energy field, that might help also. But remember, more is not better. That's an American thing. If I take, 1 milligram of something and well, that worked really well, I'm going to take 10 milligrams of it. That's not it. More putting into your body is not the answer. Remember the KISS rule. Keep it simple, stupid.
I love it. That's wonderful. Well, I do want to mention that Kim said, I say the warranty is up when you hit middle age. So it's time for the extended warranty and stem cells.
I like that. I like that, Kim.
Great. We're going to use that one, Kim. Great wisdom here. And so then we're going to go to Ann Fishburne. She says, how would you recommend using X39 for someone with extreme chemical sensitivity? They can't even buy food from the big chain grocers that fog disinfect their stores now.
Well, if they have that bad of an allergy, I hope they're seeing other things too. But the X39 will try to detox them a little bit. I would stay with the X39 and once again, open up their system. Their system's going to be a little bit clogged. Do the energy enhancer without a doubt. Now, with them also, if they're that sensitive, I don't like to do a lot of things, but I would probably include the glutathione. Their antioxidant level may be down a little bit. We need those antioxidants, especially glutathione. That's the most strong that we have.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right, Jennifer, we heard that cortisone shots and possibly prednisone might not be a good idea to use X39 with. What should we know about that? Because they do have immune suppressing reactions.
Well, yeah, the cortisone, we can only give it in shots 3 to 4 times a year because of that. So if you don't want to, put the X39 on while you're doing that, don't do it. Just do it in between, because the cortisone is actually very harmful to tendons and ligaments in the body. I used to work in interventional radiology, and we just can't give it that often. But that's basically all Western medicine, allopathic medicine really has. We have a lot more. So
we have this miraculous body that knows what to do to itself, and these patches that help our body do what it's designed to do, is come back to homeostasis. And
I hope
it's our body that does the healing, not the patches.
Right. I hope everybody that has issues, these are this evening I've heard some really, big issues. They should be seeing a practitioner. These patches are really miraculous, but you're going to need some other help too.
Yes, thank you for sharing that. That's really important. Make sure you have a trusted practitioner.
Yeah, and the other thing with the person with the allergies, the glutathione, that's an antioxidant. So, why are they so highly allergic to everything?
Yeah, when someone's that sensitive, there's something that's out of whack.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've been testing a lot of my clients, and the ones that want to know, this is what's scary. The ones that wanted to know, 100% of those people come back positive for glyphosate. And I don't care. We're supposed to have 0 in our body. So that's why glutathione is going to help those people. But I have to detoxify them from the glyphosate. And that's vital. So there's other things that you're going to have to do if your system is, really not in balance.
Right. We live in a toxic world.
It's a post-industrial society. It's very toxic, unfortunately. We've done that to ourselves.
And just for a little aside, David Schmidt did a fabulous webinar on detoxification, of how important it is for everyone. And he gave wonderful, wonderful resources. If people haven't seen it, it's in the LifeWave Connect on the YouTube channel. So, okay, let's move on to Tammy. She said, is it more effective to wear the patch throughout the night during sleep or during the day while awake?
Whichever you can do. I do mine during the day because at night it sort of gives me a little bit of energy. I've played with it before, but just make sure you have a 12 to 14 hour rest for your body. Some people will do the X39 at night, and during the day they'll do the glutathione or the Eon. But you really need to give your body a little rest.
But it's okay to wear the patches 24 hours, just not the same patch.
Right, right.
Great. Okay. So Kathy is asking, how long might it take to regenerate cartilage in my hip joint?
Ooh, that I would not be fair telling you or giving you a time, because everybody is different. I don't know your age. I don't know a lot of the other stuff, but probably the X39, I would use more than one.
Okay. And there was a doctor, excuse me, in Italy that did have success using Eon and glutathione around the knee and supplementing with the building blocks of cartilage, which are vitamin C and
NAC and
no, not NAC, collagen.
Collagen. Remember, collagen, your body still has to break it apart in your stomach. So that's something that I incorporate, how strong your digestive system is at your age. So sometimes we may have to add some things so that you can break down the collagen. Just by taking collagen, that collagen is not going to go to your knee. Your body's going to see it as, I got to break it down, or I got to make some from the, ingredients, like making bread. You got to put in those ingredients that you mentioned. Yeah.
And like you said, there's so many more dimensions that go on. And so that's why it's important to be working with a practitioner. We have many practitioners that know our products and are very, what's the word I want? Can be really supportive in moving your health forward. So you might want to ask some of our practitioners. Okay. Let's see. Jaya's asking, is it more effective? Let's see. What time should we lay down to go to sleep? I know better, but I am a night owl. Most nights I go to bed between midnight and 1 a.m.
Once again, circadian rhythm is very important. I mean, there's some doctors that talk about, we just changed our time back to the regular time. Our bodies are made, as soon as the sun starts to go down, it's time to go to bed. Your melatonin goes up. But when you're a night owl like that, that can do a lot of issues. We even have a clock system in Chinese medicine. You should be down. You should be sleeping way before that.
Okay. Well, there you go. And there are those circadian rhythms, and there's also different times of the day and night that coordinate to different organs. And so,
yes,
yes, it is. It's something that a lot of us are working on. So Jennifer's asking, what about people who are on autoimmune suppressants? Can they use X39?
I probably, me as a practitioner, would probably put them on it, but I would want you to talk to your practitioner. And I don't know what she's having it for, but I would talk to somebody. I might use, glutathione and something else that would decrease their inflammatory markers like Eon, and see what happens.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay. Nikki is asking what patch would be best for numbness in the right hand, pressure from the chest all the way down the right arm.
Well, try with the energy enhancer to open it up at the lung points. But once again, use the
This is
star.
lung one,
Yep, that's lung one.
right here.
And it comes in a little booklet. But the star of the show, use that one, the X39. And then the tertiary one would be opening up everything with the energy enhancer. And I don't know if that's coming from their cervical area, C3, 4, or 5, you know, so hopefully they're seeing a practitioner also.
Right. Then we have another question here. It says, what do you recommend for a neck that pops any way the head is turned or moved up and down? Didn't start until 7 months after I started using the patches. Sometimes I feel like it's up in my head.
That's interesting.
Neck that pops.
The neck pops after she started, or he started using the X39?
The sheet.
The chi. Good question. I would add some glutathione to that and open up the energy and see what happens.
Okay.
Some the popping could be there's a restriction. Yeah. Huh.
Right. And then the last one is Shandea, and she says, I have a knee that is bone on bone and was planning to have a knee replacement surgery. I started a supplement from my naturopath called Ostenol. Within 5 weeks, 98 to 99% of the pain was gone. It comes in different strengths. So, well, thank you for sharing that. And I'm gonna actually share some personal experience. I was bone on bone for about 15 years, and the X39 did handle the pain, but what had happened, because I was bone on bone for so long, my leg had become deformed. And if I didn't have that knee replacement, the second one, I would have lost my ability to walk. And so just because the pain's gone doesn't mean you don't need to have it. So I would make sure you get accurate information from your orthopedic, whether you're a candidate or not. And the good news is, when I had my second replacement, the first one, they kicked me out of physical therapy at a year and I still wasn't better. And I was on Dilaudid for 4 months, which is it's a heavy duty. They say it's more potent than morphine, for 4 months. And the second one, after using X39 for a year and a half, I actually got rid of my meds, my walker, and my cane in 3 weeks. And it was total knee replacement. Yeah.
So bone on bone is not a natural thing to have. That's not how we were made. So I don't know how she lost all, everything else in there, but it's true. I'm glad her pain is gone. I hope you're sleeping. I don't know what's in that formula to regenerate anything, but keep using your X39. But I don't know. That's all I can say.
Yeah, it's important to contact your orthopedic, because I thought because the pain was gone, I'd be fine, but that wasn't the case. And again, everyone's different. Everyone's okay. Final question snuck in here, and we'll just do one more and then we'll complete. From Bernadette, she's asking, what would you recommend for someone who gets brain lesions from a parasitic infection?
Well, the glutathione, of course, the energy enhancer to open up everything. But how the heck did they get parasites? I was on my way to become a pathologist, and I took a year and a half of parasitology, loved it, about bugs and worms and all sorts of things. But wow, I'm sure she's seeing a practitioner, but go ahead and do the X39, because it's gonna try to really repair any damage that's been done in the brain. But those 3 I would use. Yeah.
That's great. That's great. Well, Dr. Walt, as always, wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. I love learning
Thank you.
from you. You're a gift to
Uh,
our community, and thank you all for joining us tonight. And if you are a guest, please do reach back to the person that invited you, and they can help you get started. We invite you to get started. The patches come with a guarantee. We have a wonderful customer program, and if you're the kind of person that likes to share, a very generous compensation as a member or distributor. And we are on the cutting edge. We have a new paradigm of health here, and we need people's voices, and that's how this spreads, is person to person. It won't sit on the shelf and talk on its own, and we need your stories to share with people. So I want to thank everyone for coming tonight. And Dr. Walt, let's get your number down in the chat so people can write that down, because why don't you give it to me and I'll type it in.
Okay, it's 575 770 9953. And if they text, just mention that, just mention LifeWave. So
Great.
Yeah.
So everyone got that, got Dr. Walt's number. I know so many people that have, just a little tweak, and someone, acupuncturists, I say, have an unfair advantage because you understand the energy system. So you
Right.
might know that the pain in your back is a referral pain from some other organ,
Right.
And a lot of people just put the patch right on that spot when it may be a different spot. Although, those whole body pain points work really well, like kidney 1.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Yeah. And the energy enhancer on kidney 1, which is on the bottom of the feet, is a great thing to do for everyone. Right. Well, thank you all for joining us, and we're going to say good night. And this is a very special time because we're going to get to meet several of you in person. If you are coming to to Orlando, please reach out to me and let me know. You can find, I can put my, I gotta push send here. I'll put my email. If you are coming to the event, we want to know so we can, and send me your name and your cell phone number, because we're going to be gathering in our team, and we'd love to meet you in person, and we'll send a group text out and let you know where we are, out by the pool, up in our suite, whatever, and get to know you. Okay, so are you going, Dr. Walt? Or are you going to watch virtually?
I'm going to watch virtually. Yeah.
Okay, so
I think
go ahead.
I think I already paid for that. Wasn't that?
Yeah.
A while back? Yeah.
Yeah. And for those of you that are either going live or watching virtually, you'll have 2 weeks to access everything that happened at the event, plus a website with many other bonus items. So wow. Great to be with everyone tonight. So thanks, and we'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
And next week, I think we're going to take a week off because Gregory and I will be at a leadership retreat with David Schmidt and other leaders. So we'll make sure we let everyone know in the newsletter. Okay.
Great. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.